Hello, my name is Madeline, and I worked at Lad Lake in Dousman. Our biggest motto is just guiding growth, and that sums us up pretty well, but our mission is to guide the growth of our at-risk youth in order to ensure that they reach their full potential and live responsibly. We're all about caring and guiding for our youth, obviously, and we strive to create a safe and stable home and school environment for them. No matter where they're coming from or, what they've been through, we let them know that this is a place for a second chance and that they deserve a shot to succeed in, school, but also just in life in general. And we do so by providing things like resources and structure and room for them to grow. Our population is very diverse, but also very similar at the same time. And what I mean by that is 95% of them are coming from homes in crisis. But we have boys and girls, all races, all cultures, all economic status, all religions, all of that. It's all different. Our age range is 9 to 21, and their diagnosis can range from psychological, emotional, and behavioral problems. These can stem from any amount of trauma that they have endured or mental disorders that they have, but there is no specific field that we treat. We treat all sorts of kids. And all of our clients are mandated to be at our facility. There's no voluntary kids at our agency. So at Lad Lake, we split our residents up depending on their specific problems. Briefly, because obviously everybody's going to have their own specific problems. So what I mean by that is like age, gender, reason for referral. Those are all of the things that come into play when we're placing them in the specific units. There is 59 beds for our residentials. I worked in a unit with 12 beds, 12 boys, ages 8 to 13, who were all abused and neglected, sexually, physically, emotionally, all of that. There are other units on the campus, as I said, and they range from like sexual offenders or criminals, so it's just a little different. So that's what I mean by how we target those specific issues that way. But we also are treating their psychological, emotional, or behavioral problems, and sometimes it can be a combination of all three of them. Our clients can also come to us because they were taken out of poverty or out of unstable family situations. So they're also requiring behavioral management and just more scheduled structure and how to go about regiment, because a lot of them weren't used to that before. So we just teach them discipline as well. A typical client in my unit would be a boy who was physically, sexually assaulted, and he relayed that abuse onto his younger siblings. And that isn't just the only, tell that they were noticing. He also stopped developing mentally and doesn't have a really good sense of physical boundaries or social cues or just the regular things that kids are learning. He's so much far behind than that. And so we're just teaching him, basic skills, school skills, trauma, like how to deal with his trauma. So we're teaching him all kinds of things because these kids do come with so many different needs. So specifically, we are a residential unit for, all ages, genders, backgrounds, and that requires our staff to meet all the basic needs for our kids. So anything that a kid's going to need, we have to provide, and that means water and food and, sometimes even just a Christmas present, medical attention, therapy, all of those sorts of things. That's all on our agency, so they're very dependent on us. And they require more than an average child, so We have mental and behavioral issues and psychological issues going on with them, and they require specialists that can help with each individual case. And this is why our staff includes a school administrator, a psychiatrist, a medical director, a registered nurse, and several psychotherapists and teachers and youth care workers. And there's also a therapist for every unit. Like, they have their own office so that the kids can go to them if it's a spur of the moment thing. We also have AODA counselors for the kids that are coming in with substance abuse. And we also work to specialize for educational needs. So we put, the right teachers and trained staff to work with their specific issues, like learning disabilities that can come from the trauma and abuse. We provide 24-hour treatment and education and counseling for adolescent males and young adults experiencing psychological, emotional, behavioral problems. We use a multidisciplinary team and approach to help stabilize resident behavior, create motivation for positive change, and develop the necessary pro-social skills to prepare them for successful reintegration. We also do a lot of trauma-informed care. Everybody has to be trained in that. That's the number one thing that I was told about when I got there. And it makes the most sense, and that's why I was very, very happy with the agency I was put in, because they really did focus on that for their kids. We also have outreach programs that include 4 basic components: visitation, in-home therapy, mentoring, and the Brighter Future Initiative. Each helps stabilize and educate our at-risk families, working always towards an end goal, maintaining self-sufficiency in our community, and helping them relay it back to theirs. A case manager is assigned to meet with the child and document any progress or digression. It is important that our treatment plans grow with our clients, so we constantly have somebody meeting with them, checking to make sure, do they need some sort of new therapy? Did the other therapy not work? Do we need to change it? So we're always keeping up with our kids to make sure that our plan is growing with our kid. As I mentioned before, our outreach programs also serve as a tool for our families. Visitation is offered to our clients and their families when appropriate, and this provides support systems to the parents and the kids. And our outreach program helps children and families become better prepared to function within their community and as a family. So we try to integrate, them still seeing their parents, because we don't want to fully cut off anybody. That's definitely not what we're about. So we do the scheduled visits, whether it be at our facility or they're sometimes allowed to go home. In-home therapy provides individual therapeutic services for delinquents, truants, and youth with mental health issues, our AODA issues, and or developmental disabilities. This allows the family to stay together while still receiving our services. So we do offer those kinds of services while they're still in the home. But again, it still has to be court ordered. So sometimes it doesn't have to jump the gun straight to them being taken out of the home. So this is what we offer for in the middle. The Brighter Future Initiative offers intervention services for youth ages 10 to 18, and often their family members too if they're dealing with that. And it's about if they've committed their first or, whatever number of their delinquencies or an offense or anything of that nature, we help to rehabilitate them from that. And also while I was there, I remember working with a different intern, and her job was actually to start a project up from the ground on how to get the parents involved. So she was creating newsletters, and she was forming specific group meeting times for parents, and I thought that was really cool. And I just know that there is more work to be done in that, and they are working on it, on creating more options for the family members and significant others. So stay tuned for that. So the referral process, I was lucky enough to actually work with an administrator and in the unit. So when I first began, I was working with the administrator, and I got to be a part of an initial referral service. And so we receive our referrals from Wisconsin counties, and then we go about the interview process, and then they're staffed for placement. So we're provided with a case file that includes any previous assessments that they had taken, documentation of any services that have been implemented beforehand, any personal or criminal background information that is on record is going to be in there. And we basically look over that, and then we meet with them to kind of formulate our own opinion as well. And then we do our own initial assessment, and then we write up treatment plans and placement recommendations to pass on to the future staff that would be taking care of them. And so I was a part of that first part, and then I was actually able to also go into the units, so that was super cool to see both sides. So the administrative board is going to review it and then conduct the interview, and then we pass on a whole nother portfolio to add to that portfolio, so that we are also creating content and marking down what we are doing with our clients as well. And that is how our referral process goes. Lad Lake is a nonprofit organization, so we receive all our money from funding, so that's donations and grant money, and that's going to come from the state and from the county, and then we also get our referral sources who refer our clients to us also have to pay daily rates for the youth that they place in our care. So that's how everything is being paid for at Lad Lake. And I think that is pretty much everything, and I am going to sign out. Sorry for stuttering. Thank you. Bye.